This group of 20 charms, created in Theresienstadt, belonged to Greta Perelman, a Czech Holocaust survivor and a prisoner at the camp between 1941 and 1944. She may have gathered the pieces into a bracelet after the war. It was bequeathed to the Jewish Museum by Perelman in 1975, after her death, together with 5 watercolors created by artists in the camp, and a book about the artists of Theresien. In the book, she's quoted saying that she had worked in the camp kitchen and at times had exchanged food for art. This is all I knew when I started researching the bracelet. Theresien was a town before it became a ghetto camp. Called Theresienstadt in German, it was used as a transit site by the Nazis to deport Jews to extermination camps. The Nazis exploited the talent of Theresienstadt's inmates. They established workshops and a graphic design department that created propaganda posters depicting Jews happily doing their jobs. Of course, there was a vast difference between this image of Theresienstadt and what was really happening there, where conditions worsened as the war progressed. Over 30,000 people died at the camp, and thousands of prisoners were eventually deported to extermination camps in the east, mainly to Auschwitz. Even in these conditions, and the constant threat of deportation, Theresienstadt's prisoners continued to make art and mementos, often in secret. My feeling from the very beginning was that this group of charms was very personal, and that the more I could decode about each individual charm, the closer I could get to learning about Greta Perelman during her time as a prisoner in the camp. For me, this is one of the most moving journeys you can undertake as a curator, as a researcher, to depart from the artwork and get to the person who created, owned, or used an object, because behind every object, there is a human story. We don't know who made the charms. Greta Perelman possibly obtained some of them from fellow prisoners who worked in the metal workshop in exchange for food, and it is possible that some were given to her as gifts. But such a large group of charms owned by one single person is quite rare. Each charm in Greta Perelman's bracelet tells a story within the largest story of her life as a prisoner in Theresienstadt. Several bear the inscription M433, Greta Perelman's transport and prisoner number assigned to her by the Nazis when she was deported to the camp on Transport M, one of the earliest, which left Prague on December 14, 1941. That day happened to be Greta Perelman's 37th birthday. Some charms allude to her work in the kitchen, such as a miniature cooking pot and a ladle, and a triangular charm featuring a stylized figure of a female cook stirring a pot designed with her transport number M433. Other charms bear her initials, GP, while a locket in the form of a fortified gate opens to reveal the inscription M433 Perelman Greta. Theresienstadt had many such gates. The combination of her transport number and her name captures her dual identity as an individual and prisoner, hidden behind a closed door, symbolic of her entrapment. A miniature latrine with the initial G for Greta points to the humiliations of everyday life in the camp, where bathrooms were shared by many prisoners and the humanization was constant. A wooden clog was a prized commodity in a place where prisoners often went shoeless, and a fine-tooth comb a necessity where lice were widespread. A good luck horseshoe charm was a welcome possession, while a charming cutout window with a potted plant evoked the safety and tranquility of home, a distant memory. Two of the most moving pendants in the bracelet contain shards of porcelain. One is inscribed Greta, the other Theo. We don't know who Theo was, but the matching pair might indicate a lover's exchange. It is a Jewish tradition to break a plate at an engagement and give shards to friends and family. The breaking of the plate recalls the destruction of Jerusalem, symbolism that would have resonated powerfully during the Holocaust. The charms are dated September 1, 1943, a few days before some 5,000 prisoners were sent to Auschwitz. Theo may have been one of the deportees, and their pledge, possibly taken before their impending separation, makes their exchange even more poignant. Greta Perelman would remain in Theresienstadt until October 4, 1944, when she was deported to Auschwitz and later to Bergen-Belsen. She survived the war and soon after immigrated to the United States, where she lived until her death in 1975. Taken together, the small, intimate pieces she gathered in her bracelet constitute a self-portrait of sorts, offering a window into her life as a prisoner in Theresienstadt. They are a testament to her struggle to maintain what the Nazis were trying to divest her from, her own identity.